Taxand Tax Updates. Disclaimer: the following information is intended only to be a guide. It must not be relied on in or applied to specific situations without previously seeking proper professional advice. Income tax treatment for benefits in kind. The Indonesian government has issued Minister of Finance Regulation Number 66 of 2023, or MOF Regulation 66, which came into force on July 1, 2023, regulating the income tax treatment for compensation or remuneration related to work or services rendered, received in the form of remuneration and/or benefits in kind. Remuneration in kind means remuneration in the form of goods outside of money. Money is defined to include checks, savings balances, electronic money, or digital wallet balances, which are transferred from the provider to the recipient as a form of compensation or remuneration in connection with work or services rendered. Meanwhile, remuneration in the form of benefits means remuneration in the form of the right to use certain facilities and/or services that can be sourced from the provider's assets or third parties' assets, leased and/or financed by the provider. The cost of compensation or remuneration in the form of in-kind and/or benefits, hereinafter referred to as benefits in kind, can be deducted from the employer's gross income as long as it is an expense to earn, collect, and maintain income, also known as 3M. But consequently, it should be noted that the employer has the obligation to report the benefits in kind, along with the employees who receive it, in the employer's annual income tax return, and such benefit in kind is an income tax object for the receiving party. However, there are benefits in kind that are exempted from tax objects for the recipients, amongst others: 1. Food and/or beverage and their ingredients provided to all employees. This benefit in kind can be given in the form of provisions of food and/or beverage at the workplace for all employees, coupons that can be exchanged for food and/or beverage for employees in the marketing department, transportation department, and other external services with a coupon value not exceeding A. 2 million rupiah per employee per month, or B. the value of expenses for providing food and/or beverage for each employee per month at the workplace. The benefit in kind can also be given in the form of provision of food and/or beverage ingredients for all employees with a certain value threshold. 2. Benefits in kind provided in designated areas. This benefit in kind includes facilities, infrastructure, and/or facilities at the workplace for employees and their families in the form of A. Residence including housing, B. Health services, C. Education, D. Place of worship, E. Transportation, and/or F. Sports excluding golf, motorized boat racing, horse racing, gliding, or motorsports, as long as the business location of the employer has been determined as a designated area by the Director General of Taxes. Designated areas refer to the areas which have economic potential that can be feasibly developed, but have generally inadequate economic infrastructure conditions and are difficult to reach by public transportation, including areas of sea waters that have a depth of more than 50 meters where the seabed has mineral reserves, as well as remote areas. The appointment of the employer's business location as a designated area may be given until the expiry of certain mining permits, or for a period of 5 years for employers aside from holders of certain mining permits. The appointment as an employer with a business location in a designated area is in the authority of the DGT, or the Director General of Taxes, based on an application submitted by the employer with a central status to the head of the regional office of the DGT, in which the employer with a central status is registered. 3. Benefits in kind that must be provided by the employer for the execution of work. Benefits in kind in this category relates to the requirements concerning the security, health, and/or safety of the employees, as required by the relevant ministries or agencies based on statutory provisions, including uniforms, work safety equipment, employee shuttle service, lodging for crew members, and/or benefits in kind received in the context of handling an endemic, pandemic, or national disaster. 4. Benefits in kind with certain types and/or thresholds. Benefits in kind provided to employees outside of those in the three categories above may be exempted as income tax objects if they meet certain types and thresholds, which are as follows. 1. For gifts in the form of food, beverage, and their ingredients in commemoration of religious holidays or Chinese New Year may be received by all employees. 2. For gifts outside of those given in commemoration of religious holidays, such gifts must not exceed the value of 3 million rupiah per employee within one fiscal year. 3. For work equipment and facilities such as laptops, computers, cell phones, mobile prepaid credits, such facilities must be used as supporting resources in the employee's execution of their job. 4. Healthcare and treatment facilities are exempted as income tax objects as long as they are given as a benefit for illnesses and injuries resulting from work accidents, work-related illnesses, or life-saving emergencies. 5. Sports facilities, except for golf, horse racing, motorized boat racing, paragliding, or automotive sports, must not exceed the amount of 1.5 million rupiah per employee in one fiscal year. 6. For communal residential facilities such as mess halls, dormitories, hostels, barracks, there are no specified thresholds. 7. Residential facilities of which utilization rights are held by individuals, such as apartments or houses, must not exceed the value of 2 million rupiah per employee per month. 8. Transportation facilities will be exempted as income tax objects as long as they are received by employees who are not shareholders and have an average gross income of up to 100 million rupiah per month from the employer within the last 12 months. 9. For pension fund contribution facilities, there are no thresholds specified. 10. For religious worship facilities, they must be intended solely for religious worship purposes. If the benefits in kind provided by the employer do not meet the conditions for the types and/or thresholds specified in the table, then the said benefits in kind are subject to the employer's withholding tax Article 21. MOF Regulation Number 66 also regulates exemptions to income tax objects for all benefits in kind received throughout the year of 2022, without any provisions on the certain types and accepted thresholds. Whereas benefits in kind received by employees from January 1, 2023 to June 30, 2023 will be excluded from the employer's withholding tax Article 21 objects. However, they must be reported as income, which will be subject to income tax in the employee's annual income tax returns. Thank you for listening to PB Taxand Tax Updates.